The Galactic Council Chamber, a grand hall located at the heart of intergalactic Station Zeta, buzzed with the usual cacophony of alien dialects and the gentle hum of translating devices. Species from across the galaxies, some with shimmering scales and others with ethereal glows, gathered to discuss matters of interstellar importance. The room, shaped like a vast amphitheater, was filled with representatives seated according to their alliance and power hierarchy. On this particular day, the agenda was packed with the usual: trade negotiations, territorial disputes, and the regulation of the newly discovered hyperfuel lanes. However, an unexpected addition to the schedule was about to take precedence over the usual proceedings. A small, unassuming metallic box was rolled in on an anti-gravity platform, escorted by a duo of the Galactic Guard. The box, simple and gray, bore no markings except for a serial code that only few could decipher. The presence of the box itself was not what shocked the assembly. It was its heralded arrival announced by the Grand Arbitrator himself, a figure known for his strict adherence to protocol and disdain for surprises. As the box settled in the center of the chamber, a hush fell over the crowd. The Grand Arbitrator, a towering figure with skin that shimmered like a starlit night, approached the podium. His voice, powerful yet always calm, echoed through the translators into hundreds of languages. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council, today we are presented with a matter most unusual and urgent," he began, his eyes scanning the audience. "This box, delivered anonymously to our station, has been scanned and deemed safe, but its contents are unknown and potentially of great significance to us all." Murmurs and whispers spread like wildfire as the representatives leaned in, curiosity piqued. The Grand Arbitrator gestured to the guards, who activated the mechanism to unlock the box. As the lid slowly opened, a soft light emanated from within, casting a glow that seemed to pulse gently. Inside, resting on a cushion of dark velvet, was an artifact none had seen before but all recognized from ancient myths, a crystal emitting a soft, pulsating light. Its facets were perfectly cut, reflecting the chamber's lights in mesmerizing patterns. The sight of it silenced the room. Such objects were spoken of only in the sacred texts of a dozen civilizations. "The luminous ethereum," whispered a delegate from the back, a scholar of ancient artifacts. The name resonated through the hall, stirring a mix of reverence and fear. The Grand Arbitrator continued. "This crystal, according to legend, holds the power to bridge minds, allowing for communication across species without translation. Its implications for peace and understanding are immense. However, its origins and reasons for being sent to us are as yet unknown." The revelation stirred a mix of excitement and apprehension. Such a tool could unite the Council like never before, or become a beacon of contention, coveted by all. "We must decide how to proceed," the Grand Arbitrator declared. "Shall we study it to harness its potential, or is the risk of it falling into the wrong hands too great? Today, we decide the fate of the luminous ethereum, and perhaps the future of our council." As the debate was set to begin, every representative prepared their argument, aware that the decision made today could reshape the political landscape of the galaxies forever. The box, once an enigma, now lay open, its contents revealed and ready to change the course of history. The debate over the luminous ethereum ignited passions that had lain dormant for centuries. Delegates from the technologically advanced Planetary Union of Cygnus argued vigorously for the artifact's potential to foster unprecedented intergalactic collaboration. Their lead scientist, a being enveloped in a shimmering biosuit, presented holographic models illustrating how the ethereum's properties could be integrated into existing communication networks to eliminate misunderstandings bred from faulty translations. On the other side, the elders of the Thulian Circle, whose long lifespans gave them a cautious perspective on the flux of galactic politics, raised concerns about the artifact's darker potentials. They spoke of ancient wars, ignited by similar artifacts that had promised unity, but led instead to dominion and despair. Their leader, a venerated figure swathed in robes that seemed woven from the very fabric of the cosmos, reminded the Council of the old axiom: what can connect can also control. As the argument swirled, a small delegation from the Outer Rim territories, often overlooked due to their fringe status and lack of military power, requested the floor. Their representative, a slight figure cloaked in a patchwork of different cultural garments, brought a different perspective. "Consider," they began, their voice steady and penetrating, "that this ethereum has not been sent to us without reason. Someone or something understands our divisions and offers a means to transcend them. The proposal was daring, to establish a neutral research team comprising members from various factions to study the ethereum under the strictest security measures. This team would not only investigate the artifact's technological implications, but also its origins and the intentions behind its mysterious delivery." The idea resonated with many, bridging the divide between the technophiles and the traditionalists. However, securing agreement on who would lead this team and, more critically, where the research would take place, brewed a new storm of debate. Each faction had their reservations and demands, fearing to give too much power or reveal too much vulnerability. In the midst of this heated exchange, an urgent message was received from the station's security directorate. The box, it seemed, was not as benign as initially believed. Though the ethereum itself remained inert, the box's underlying mechanisms had begun to emit a low-frequency signal. This revelation paused the debate abruptly. The implications were clear. The artifact was not merely a tool of communication, but also a beacon, and now someone or something knew it was active. This new threat recontextualized the discussion, injecting a sense of urgency into the proceedings. The factions realized that the danger of external intervention was no longer theoretical, but imminent. The call for unity in research transformed into a mandate, and a coalition was swiftly formed. As the council members cast their votes in favor of the coalition, the chamber, once divided by deep-seated rivalries and ancient grievances, found a new, albeit fragile, consensus. The luminous ethereum, with its mesmerizing glow and profound implications, was now at the heart of a collective venture that might either herald a new era of understanding or expose all to unprecedented peril. In the sealed confines of a specially constructed laboratory, deep within the secure zone of Intergalactic Station Zeta, the newly formed coalition embarked on their examination of the luminous ethereum. The laboratory, a marvel of scientific architecture, was equipped with advanced isolation technologies and surveillance systems to ensure that no unauthorized transmissions could either enter or escape the facility. The team, a diverse group of the galaxy's finest minds, approached their task with a mixture of scientific rigor and cautious optimism. They surrounded the artifact, which sat enclosed in a transparent stasis field, its pulsating light casting shadows that danced on the lab's stark white walls. Their first task was to decipher the signal the box had emitted. A Cygnian physicist, renowned for her work with quantum entanglements, spearheaded this effort. With meticulous precision, she adjusted the array of sensors and analyzers, gradually peeling back the layers of encrypted frequencies. The signal, she discovered, was not a simple beacon, but a complex sequence of quantum-entangled particles, suggesting a level of technology that was advanced, even by the standards of the Galactic Council's most sophisticated civilizations. Meanwhile, a Thulian historian scoured the ancient texts for any mention of similar artifacts. His findings painted a grim picture of past epochs where such technologies had been misused. In hushed tones, he shared tales of entire planets enslaved by devices that had promised connection, but delivered control. His research provided a sobering counterpoint to the more optimistic technological. As the team fortified their laboratory against further intrusion, the tension within the secure confines became palpable. The researchers, now more vigilant, resumed their analysis with a heightened sense of urgency. With each passing hour, the importance of understanding the ethereum's capabilities grew, as did the recognition of the danger it represented. To further unravel the mystery of the artifact, the team constructed a neural interface, a device designed to facilitate direct communication with the ethereum without exposing the user to its overwhelming influx of alien thoughts. The biocommunicator from Pelagos volunteered once again, her previous exposure making her the most experienced among them in navigating the ethereum's formidable psychic landscape. Secured in a neural sync chair, she connected to the ethereum through the interface, The room dimmed, focusing all light on the artifact and its operator. Her colleagues monitored the interaction from behind protective screens, recording every data point. This time the connection was more controlled, but the flow of information was no less intense. Through her, the team glimpsed a network of consciousnesses, vast and sprawling, linked by the ethereum across space and time. The visions revealed through her were fragmented but illuminative. They saw through alien eyes, planets never recorded by their scouts, technologies unfamiliar and advanced, and a recurring symbol, a network of nodes and links that suggested a civilization that thrived on connectivity. This civilization, it seemed, had mastered the ability to share knowledge and emotions across the stars, creating a society that was incredibly sophisticated and perhaps entirely peaceful. Their breakthrough in communication was overshadowed when the team's tech specialist detected an anomaly within the lab's own systems. It appeared that the initial breach had left a dormant code embedded in their network, a sleeper virus now attempting to corrupt their data. With a possible spy mechanism in place, they faced the dual task of safeguarding their findings and purging the invasive code. The tech specialist, working with a coder from the security team, traced the virus to its source, revealing it to be a sophisticated espionage tool likely deployed by one of the rival factions within the Galactic Council. This discovery led to a stark realization. Not all threats were external. The danger could be much closer to home, perhaps even sitting at the negotiation table. With this in mind, they devised a counter-strategy. The coder crafted a decoy data stream, filled with fabricated findings to mislead any watchers into believing they were making progress in a different direction. Meanwhile, the real data was encrypted and stored in a quantum cube, only accessible through physical interaction, thereby protecting their true findings from digital espionage. As they continued their work under these strained conditions, the need for discretion and the weight of their potential discoveries fostered a deep bond of trust and camaraderie among the team. They were no longer just representatives of their respective cultures, but guardians of a potentially transformative power. The ethereum, with all its dangers and promises, was becoming a test of their collective integrity and their ability to stand united in the face of both internal and external threats. The stakes were higher than ever as they prepared to take the next step. Fully unlocked, the day of the presentation arrived with a tangible air of anticipation permeating intergalactic station Zeta. The team, having worked tirelessly through cycles of day and night, prepared their findings in a format that could be digested by the varied intellects and sensibilities of the Galactic Council. The chamber where they had first revealed the luminous ethereum was now transformed into a stronghold of high security, with every entry and exit point meticulously guarded. Before the gathered council, the team presented a carefully orchestrated overview of their findings. They revealed the ethereum's ability to connect disparate species on a level deeper than language. Emotion, thought, and consciousness shared across the vastness of space. However, they were judicious in withholding specifics about the technology's full capabilities, aware that such knowledge could provoke a power struggle of unprecedented scale. As they presented, the tech specialist discreetly monitored communications within the chamber, ensuring that no unauthorized transmissions could betray their deeper secrets. Despite their precautions, the mood in the chamber was one of uneasy curiosity. Several factions displayed a keen interest, their questions probing for weaknesses or hints of undisclosed powers. The historian took the lead in addressing the cultural implications of such a device. He spoke of the ethereum's potential to end centuries of miscommunication and conflict, proposing a new era of understanding and unity. Yet, he also cautioned against the risks of misuse, citing the collapses of ancient civilizations that had grown over-reliant on similar technologies. Meanwhile, the biocommunicator shared her personal experiences with the ethereum, describing the profound connections and the sometimes terrifying breadth of consciousness it revealed. Her testimony, more than any technical explanation, illustrated the profound impact such a device could have on individual and collective psyches. The council listened, rapt and divided. Some saw the potential for a new golden age of cooperation, while others feared the erosion of individual privacy and the homogenization of cultures. The debates that followed were intense and philosophical, delving into the nature of identity and the definition of community. Amidst this fervent discourse, an alarm sounded. The security team, alert and prepared, reported an attempted breach in the chamber's network, an effort to steal the ethereum's data directly from their systems during the distraction of the debate. The attempt was thwarted, thanks to the foresight of the team's security protocols, but the incident served as a stark reminder of the ethereum's allure and the lengths to which some entities would go to control it. The team used this breach as a practical demonstration of the risks involved in managing such a powerful tool. The tech specialist outlined the sophisticated nature of the attempted hack, which they traced back to In the wake of the revelation of the attempted breach, the chamber reconvened with a palpable shift in the atmosphere. The factions now eyed each other with a blend of suspicion and newfound caution, each aware that the stakes had escalated beyond mere political maneuvering. The ethereum, a catalyst for both unity and discord, lay at the center of this galactic chessboard, its fate intertwined with that of every species represented. The Grand Arbitrator resumed the session, his voice resonant and steadying. He proposed the creation of a new body within the Galactic Council, the Ethereum Custodianship. This group would be charged with the oversight of the artifact, ensuring both its security and its ethical utilization. To ensure impartiality, he suggested that the custodianship be composed of members from various factions, all of whom had shown restraint and wisdom during the discussions. The proposal was met with a mix of reactions. Some delegates saw this as a fair compromise, a way to balance the power dynamics and keep the Ethereum's potential in check. Others viewed it as merely a temporary solution, suspecting that it might become a new locus of power struggles. During the deliberations, the tech specialist and the biocommunicator conducted a private demonstration for a select few skeptics, showing them the controlled interface with the Ethereum. They witnessed firsthand the artifact's ability to seamlessly integrate diverse thought processes and emotions. This experience, though profound and unsettling to some, helped sway the opinion of several key delegates who had been on the fence. Meanwhile, the historian and the coder working together drafted a set of guidelines for the Ethereum's use, emphasizing transparency and ethical considerations. These guidelines were designed to prevent any single entity from monopolizing the artifact's capabilities, proposing regular audits and a rotating leadership for the custodianship. As the final vote approached, the team gathered in the observation gallery above the council chamber, watching as their fate and that of the Ethereum were debated below. Each member felt the weight of their journey, the sleepless cycles spent in research and preparation now culminating in these critical moments. The vote was a tense affair, with each delegate casting their decision into the central tally system. The result was narrow but clear. The creation of the ethereal custodianship was approved. A collective sigh of relief mixed with anxious anticipation filled the chamber as the decision was announced. The ethereum would be studied, but with strict oversight and shared governance, reflecting the diverse and multifaceted nature of the Galactic Council itself. In the days that followed, the newly appointed custodians took their oaths, pledging to uphold the principles set forth by the Council. The team was invited to participate in the initial setup of the custodianship, their expertise and integrity crucial in shaping its foundation. As the team disbanded, returning to their respective homeworlds and duties, they carried with them a sense of accomplishment and a measure of hope. The Ethereum, once an unknown and potentially catastrophic enigma, now symbolized a bridge towards a more unified galaxy. Back in the lab, as the last of their equipment was packed away, the biocommunicator paused to look at the now inert Ethereum, its light dimmed but not extinguished. She smiled, reflecting on the connections it had fostered, not just among the stars, but between those who had come together under its glow. The story of the Ethereum was far from over, but for now it lay in trusted hands, a beacon of potential in a galaxy teeming with life and possibilities.